I had no visions of television. The interesting thing about it is that it was the Rothschilds that got me Barney Miller. I didn't know anything about it. Nobody had ever, I didn't get any backstage note from anybody. Nobody came back to say anything. But in a series of coincidences, Danny Arnold saw me do the Rothschilds, and that was his vision of, he told me later, he knew that was the character he wanted me to play that part. It was, what, 4 years between the two, something like that. He was in New York over Christmas doing a movie that he had written. I think it was a Jack Lemmon movie. I don't remember the name of it. But he was, what do you call it, a line producer, where which means you have to be on the set most of the time in case they want to rewrite something, you know, or. So he was quite occupied. His wife sent his 2 children to spend Christmas with him. He didn't have time for them. He was on the set. So he got a stage manager to get a limo. They put him in a limo, and they took him to trip around Manhattan in a boat, to a Ranger hockey game, whatever they could do of an afternoon to keep them busy, so that when he finished at night, he could spend time with his kids. And that's what they did. And one day the kids revolted and said, no, we don't want to, we'll just stay with you today. We don't want to. And he said, I can't, I have to do this, I can't spend any time with you. Just at that moment, the director walked over and said, Danny, listen, we have a set move. And in New York, that's a major, you know, he says, if we're lucky, we're going to get a rehearsal on the other end. So why don't you get in the limo and go with your kids, spend the day with the kids? So he got in the limo and said, whatever they're doing, get me another ticket and I'll go with them. And it just happened to be that he went to see the Rothschilds. Again, he didn't come backstage to say, hello, I'm Danny Arnold. He didn't send me a note. I never heard of him. I knew nothing of it until, 3 years later. I was doing something in Hollywood, a guest shot of some kind. And I was about to get on a plane to go home. And my manager called and said, we've got a later plane, we got a lunch with somebody who wants to talk to you. And that was Danny Arnold, to convince me to do Barney Miller. Those were the days when producers had that kind of power, that they didn't have to go through the gauntlet, you know, that you do have to go through today with studios and networks. And he later told me it was that performance in the Rothschilds that convinced him that was what he needed in that character, that personal drive, and that what he described as a sense of Talmudic justice. That Barney understood the difference that the distance from one side of the desk to the other was not that great. And there, but for the grace of God knows what, go all of us. And that understanding quality, that, as he phrased it, Talmudic justice, he wanted in Barney, and he saw it in Maya Rothschild. A lot of luck involved in this business. You know, what if he didn't see it? I don't think I was yet. I was never. No agent had suggested me for the role, so it wasn't a lot of luck.